Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Molly Starback, Director of the Duke Office of Postdoctoral Services, and I am excited to welcome you to this session of virtual postdoctoral orientation. And today we are meeting with the Duke Cancer Institute Office of Cancer Research Training and Education Coordination, CRTEC. And our speakers today are Gerard Blobe, Dr. Gerard Blobe, MD, PhD, who is the Associate Director of Training and Education, Kathryn Katie Dickerson, PhD, who is CRTEC Assistant Director and former Duke postdoc and winner of the Outstanding Postdoc Award, and Ms. Colleen Bauer, MA, who is the CRTEC Program Manager. So thank you so much for joining us. And could you all start maybe by giving a little bit more intro to yourselves and telling us about the center?
Absolutely. Thanks, Molly. Thanks for having us and all you do for postdocs at Duke. Yeah, so I'm excited. I trained here, so I as a MD PhD student, and then did my postdoctoral training up in Boston, but came back as a faculty member 23 years ago. I'm in the departments of medicine, pharmacology, and cancer biology. But my role here is as the assistant associate director of training and education for the Cancer Center. And really one of our goals is to coordinate all the education activities relevant to cancer, going from middle school all the way through junior faculty, and certainly focusing a lot on our graduate students and postdoctoral fellows. So really happy to be here and to introduce you to our office.
Great.
Katie.
Thanks, Jerry. Yeah, lovely to see you all. Thanks, Molly, again for everything you do. I came to Duke in 2011 to become a postdoc here, as Molly said, and postdoc for 5 years. And then I got an internal K award, which does exist at Duke. So for you all, it's good information. And I joined the psychiatry department as junior faculty. I still maintain my appointment there. And nearly a year ago, joined the CRTEC office as the assistant director. I am very passionate about career development and fostering an equitable environment in science. So really excited to be part of this team that is really here. We're designed to support all trainees, as Jerry said, across that full spectrum that are engaged in cancer research. Colleen?
Thank you. And thank you again for having us. I am Colleen Bauer, and I'm the program manager in the CRTEC office. I've been at Duke for just over 5 years working with research trainees, and I'm excited to be working with the cancer researchers at DCI. And I'm mostly available for making sure that the resources that we have are getting communicated to our trainees, and helping to launch programming to engage more trainees in the activities that we have.
Thanks very much, everyone, for the intros. So perhaps you'd now like to give a bigger overview of the center and your activities.
Yeah, so I'll start just by really focusing on some of the things that I think are really relevant for our postdoctoral trainees. So first of all, we want to make postdoctoral trainees aware of all the resources that are available within Duke Cancer Institute, particularly our core resources. Those are things anywhere from our microscopy core, where you can get state-of-the-art instruction and help in using confocal microscopes and other microscopes, live cell imaging, turf microscopy. We also have a FACS core for sorting of cells and analysis of that data, things about tissue procurement. So if you're interested in doing cancer research and you need access to some human specimens, we have a way to get you those specimens. And our animal facilities, where we have special areas for cancer-bearing mice and xenograft models for mice, access to those mice at a really steep discount. So those are just some of our core resources. We also are trying to introduce those core resources through tours of those different cores. So look in our newsletter for information about that. We also have a number of offerings that are related to helping you obtain grant funding. So probably the most relevant is a grant review mechanism, where if you're submitting any type of K or F award or a foundation grant and have a nearly completed grant, you can have that reviewed by a couple of faculty members as well as a trainee who's going to learn the grant review process by doing that, get both oral and written feedback on your grant, actually be able to participate in the kind of mock study section that's reviewing your grant, so you see how that works, and then have that feedback to take into your grant. We've been doing that for a number of years, and it's been highly successful in terms of people getting ideas for new collaborations and improving their grant and getting those grants funded. We also try to get you, make you aware of upcoming grant deadlines, so you're not missing any grant opportunities. And then we have a growing resource of grants that have been funded, including some grants that weren't necessarily funded on their first submission, but were successful after revision. So you can see what that process looks like. And then we're trying to keep you aware of all these things through a number of sites, not just our website, but also our quarterly newsletter that highlights the upcoming events, upcoming grant deadlines, our offerings, as well as highlights some of our trainees that we're very proud of. And then the other thing I just want to touch on before passing it off to Katie and Colleen is just in terms of trying to increase the pipeline. So we're certainly working on several pipeline initiatives and have several funded already. Want a post-bac program to bring increase the diversity in our postdoctoral and graduate programs. And we also have a summer research program for undergraduates. So trying to bring more people to campus, get them interested in cancer research and stay here for graduate school and their postdocs. So,
yeah, I'll just add related to that theme that we're trying to increase support for diversity supplement applications. So as a trainee, if you yourself as a postdoc think that you might meet the criteria for being underrepresented in science, which is actually broader than I think many people are aware of, can include being raised in foster care, coming from a low SES background, things like that. Then you might be eligible to apply for a diversity supplement, which are supplements onto parent larger grants that your mentor may have. And historically, these have been really underutilized at Duke. We're trying to increase the resources for that. So as Jerry mentioned, we have a growing repository of funded grants, which is going to include diversity supplement applications. And then we also have some ideas of upcoming programs, including where we are planning to try to host a diversity supplement matchmaking event, which would be online, virtual, which I actually think would be the perfect format because it will just be a meet and greet between faculty who have grants that are eligible to support diversity supplements, and then trainees at many levels, including postdocs that may be eligible to apply for one. So I think the other thing to sort of note as we're talking about our programming is that Colleen and I both joined relatively recently, and we're really looking forward to expanding our programming and the things that we can offer. So we recently conducted a survey across the trainees. We do have a listserv if folks are interested in joining. If you do cancer-related research or are interested in that, we have a listserv that we try to advertise this information that Jerry was mentioning with funding opportunities and grant writing workshops and things like that, and include surveys. So we're really trying to better understand the needs of our community and develop programs that we think would be relevant to you all.
exactly. And then a couple of things that I wanted to also add. We do have a roughly 3 to 4 times a year a cancer biology journal club that's led by a trainee, a postdoctoral fellow usually, and is open to the public. We provide refreshments, and that's focused on presenting a paper and discussing science, but also just for networking and gathering in an informal setting. So it's all trainees. There's no faculty showing up to that. And then we're working on, there's a number of T32 training grants funded by the NIH on campus, but we're working on increasing the number of NCI T32s on campus with an eye towards submitting one on immunotherapy or immunobiology, which is a hot area in cancer research, one on neuro-oncology, which will take advantage of our expertise in brain tumors, but also our brain and spine metastasis center. And then one that's focused on precision medicine and taking advantage of historic strengths here in signal transduction and targeted therapeutics.
And I just wanted to add that we do have this journal club that's it goes about 3 or 4 times a year, as Jerry said, and it's organized by Postdoc, but we are always looking for more people who are interested in being liaisons and connecting with us and either helping with that journal club or launching other programming that you might be interested in. We'd love to get the ideas from trainees who are interested in a leadership role and enthusiastic about trainee development. And we'd love to partner with anybody like that.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can think of ideas all day long, but if they're not relevant, and they're not good ones. So having connections directly with postdocs and other individuals, sort of boots on the ground doing the science, is just really incredibly valuable.
Yeah, and I would just echo that. We welcome your engagement and happy to work with you and provide what you're looking for.
Yeah, this all sounds fantastic. I mean, you can help postdocs so much with their research, with their publication, with their grant funding, sounds like you provide outstanding mentorship. You even provide food. So
that's a big one.
Yeah. The most important is the food.
This is all just amazing. Do you have any preferred ways for postdocs to reach out to you, get involved? Is there anything else that you'd like to let postdocs know?
Yeah, Katie, can you let them know the ways they can get a hold of us?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a designated email address. It's just DCI-training@duke.edu that we can share with Molly and post so you don't have to remember. But that's the best way to connect us. It's a shared account, so you'll hit Jerry, I, and/or Colleen, and we try to be prompt at getting back to you. We do have our website. The DCI website is going to be updated soon, which is great. But we have a lot of materials and information on there. And then, you could always reach out to us directly, but I think the DCI training address is the simplest and most straightforward way.
Great. Well, Molly, thanks again for having us. It was nice, and we look forward to interacting with more of you.
Thank you so much. We will definitely be spreading the word about all the great opportunities you offer to Duke postdocs.
Thank you, Molly.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.